Hey everybody, it's Kyle coming to you from my basement. I was hoping to have everything set up with the new shield that goes around the back of the microphone and all that jazz. I ran into so many issues. I mean, first off, putting it all together. The shield, I don't know, I think it came with the wrong connections or something. Regardless, I got it assembled. And then I had to use a different microphone from the one I had been using downstairs. And my old one didn't work. I finally figured out. So, whatever, you know. In the meantime, I actually bought a little mixing board. Just a cheapie. I had heard about it through a few vloggers and influencers on YouTube. But it's a little cheapie from Walmart. And it's made by Vivitar. The 1500723. It is called the Vivitar Creator Series Audio Stream Sound Mixer. And it's pretty cool. There's so many different things you can do with it. It has some built-in sound effects, you know. I'll play with those on the podcast on the next episode. Maybe I'll even do a special report. We'll see. And then you can even do your own custom sound. It's got a place for that where you can record your own custom sound and put it on here. You can also connect other things up to this via Bluetooth. So if you have some music on your phone, you want to do Bluetooth to bring that in and maybe do an intro, which I'm sure I will do. And then you can also plug in from your phone or from another device directly into this and do that as well. But yeah, I mean, it's got like, gee whiz, that's like 18 different sound effects, including the one that you can create yourself. It's got reverb. It also, you can bring in music. It's got a knob just for that. It's got a separate knob for the microphone or microphones, because you can hook up to 3 microphones to this thing. And then it also has another volume dial for the headphones, so you can monitor it while you're recording. I mean, this is all I need. I didn't even need that big Behringer soundboard I had. Or was it I think it was a Tapco MX120. I mean, it was great, you know, but I just don't need it. So, yeah, pretty excited about this. I think it's gonna be a good thing. I'll let you know more about it as it comes. All right, so what's going on in my life? What's good that's happening in my life? Well, I mean, you know, here my daughter is starting up everything again. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I mean, my wife had that knee surgery 2 weeks ago, and it's been kind of a whirlwind, man. I mean, so many things going on, you know, and having only one person really who can drive. I mean, besides my teenage son, but dude, he's doing stuff. He's not going to be driving people places, and he's helped out a lot, you know. But yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I mean, last weekend, I think I spent it was my whole Saturday day going shopping, you know, getting groceries at multiple different locations and stuff like that. Yeah, it was nuts, man. I mean, it was really nuts. It was not a very restful day. Saturday wasn't. And then this week has been even crazier. Now, we knew that Tuesday of this week would be crazy. There's a lot of things going on, even though the kids were actually out of school. But we knew, because it was voting day, we knew that we had set up a while ago, we had set up a deal for my son to take his vehicle in to get oil change and oil filter change and all that. Which, by the way, is outrageously expensive now, if you haven't done that in a while. I used to do it myself, but the hassle is getting rid of the oil after you do it, the used oil. I mean, yeah, you can take it in those places, but you got to plan ahead, you know. I mean, like AutoZone's pretty easy to do it because you can just walk in and say, hey, I got some oil. They'll tell you where it is. You can go back and dump it in there. But yeah, some other places, they have keys and all this stuff that's outside. It's kind of a hassle. Anyway, so I stopped doing that and started just getting it changed. And to be honest with you, they do a better job anyway. So I will still change my own brake pads. I mean, there's some things I will do. But yeah, I don't think I need to do that. So he had that at like 3:30 in the afternoon. My daughter swim has started also, but it's just out of water, you know, exercising and kind of classroom stuff on strokes and water safety and stuff. So she's been doing that. So she had that from 2:30 to 4. So yeah, she was doing that. He went and dropped off his car, came back home, got dropped off back at home, and then his car was done pretty quick. So basically, I took him back to get his car, and then drove over to get my daughter and brought her home. And then I immediately had to go back to the school to help decorate for this at 7 o'clock, or I'm sorry, at 6 o'clock. Last night was Tuesday night was the marching band banquet. So, so I was on the decoration committee and stuff, and I had actually orchestrated getting one of the large props there so that they could get, you know, kind of a photo booth pictures on it. So I ran back up there to get the rest of that set up. They had most of it done already, which is great. But then I turned around, came home, and I was going to get changed. My daughter was waiting because we were going to go up there. And then also found out right then, before I got back after decorating, that someone in our family had an ER emergency situation. So my wife had my son take her to this hospital for this, and then he was driving back. So that really threw a kink in the works because my wife was going to be at the banquet the whole time. And my daughter and I were going to have to leave because she had her first club volleyball practice at 7, and it's somewhere that's about 25 minutes away. So it's like, and that was 7 to 9:30. So we went to that, and, you know, I was chatting with my wife on WhatsApp or whatever, and she's like, yeah, you can just come by here and pick me up, you know, on your way back from volleyball. Now, when we went up to the banquet thing, by the time we got up there, we had to get gas in the car and all that. By the time we got up there, my daughter and I could only be there like 15 minutes. It kind of sucked because that thing's kind of fun. I know my son got some awards, and he and his group that he always hangs around got a goofball award. And he said, I've been trying to get that for 4 years. So that was kind of funny. So yeah, it was kind of heartbreaker that my wife couldn't be there and that we really weren't there hardly at all either. But when we walked in, just probably about 15 minutes late, 20 minutes, the line to go through for food for the banquet was so huge. There's no way we could have gotten any food in time. We would have been waiting in line and not even got up to the food in the time that we had to be there. So my daughter and I just went and hung out by my son a little bit, talked with him and his buddies, you know, talked to some other family or friends and some of his buddies' family members that were there. And then we had to turn around and leave. So we were there 15 minutes. Paid $20 to get in, which I know it all goes to the band. It doesn't really matter, but we didn't eat anything. We immediately bust ass to get over to volleyball, and we got there a little bit late, like right on the nose, actually. And they're supposed to be there like 10 minutes early so they can get everything situated with shoes and clothes and all that and get out on the court ready to go. Well, the coach started kind of getting on her case just a little bit, not much. And I just said, hey, and kind of pulled him aside and told him what's going on as far as, And he was like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Ah, it's okay. You know, hopefully everything's going to be okay." But yeah, pretty crazy stuff, man. And then we picked up my wife, and it was probably almost 10 o'clock at night, and started driving. And I was like, "Hey, we haven't eaten yet, Audrey," to my daughter, you know, and my wife's like, "Well, why didn't you eat at the thing?" Well, we couldn't. I mean, the line was so huge, and we were a few minutes late. So the line was so gigantic. There's no way we could have ate there. So we just had to hurry up and get to volleyball, and we were late to that anyway, a couple minutes. So yeah. So then we get home probably about, I don't know, 10:40 or so p.m. and my son's busy cleaning up. I guess one of the pugs had gotten into something and ate it, and had gotten sick all over every bunch of spots in the house. So I started helping him with that. I came down and got the spot rug shampooer, the cleaner, and took it up there and worked on that for a while. And, you know, by the time I was getting ready to get into bed, it was about 11:15. And I was like, I got to eat something. So I had a couple slices of leftover pizza. It wasn't that great, but I probably didn't fall asleep till 12:30 or so. It was just nuts. It was nuts, man. Too much shit in one day, you know. And I know there's never a right time for the situation that happened with the ER deal. But boy, it couldn't have happened at a worse time. I tell you that right now. That was a mess. So hopefully everybody's okay, you know, and all that jazz. But yeah, it really, yesterday was a nightmare for me personally. I mean, I'm sure my wife feels totally helpless too. She can't drive yet or anything like that, because she's still, you know, coming back from that knee surgery. But regardless, it was just a late night. So what am I into right now? But the good news is, hey, we were able to get it all done and all that. It's probably going to be the hardest day I'll have in a long, long time. So yeah, first world problems or whatever. Yeah. So I'm not complaining, just venting really. All right. So what am I into right now? Well, I've told you about the records recently that I've gotten. I did order the first Fastway record, and that came in, which is awesome. I've been playing the hell out of that self-titled debut album, I think 1983. It's got a black and white checkerboard cover and just says Fastway in red across it. It's an awesome record, man. That band is so underrated. I mean, the more I listened to them, I realized they were kind of this bridge from, you know, kind of classic 70s rock into like more of the metal sound, but probably aligning itself more with the huge hair metal movement back in the mid to late 80s. But yeah, it's good. I love it a lot. Yeah. Speaking of hair metal, the other album I picked up is Motley Crue's Shout at the Devil. Now, there's two Motley Crue albums that I love. My very favorite, beyond a doubt, is Too Fast for Love. And my second favorite would be Shout at the Devil. Shout at the Devil was a big album for me growing up. I remember my uncle got it, and I had heard Shout at the Devil, the song, played on the radio a couple times. But I went over to see him, and he's like, "Hey, come here." And he had it on vinyl. And I was like, when I look at it now, I'm like, what the hell are these guys dressed up as? But at the time, I thought it was the coolest shit on planet Earth. I'll put the pictures in the deal for you guys to go take a look at. But but I thought it was so cool that I said, "Hey man, can I take this upstairs?" Because I had a little boom box in my car and a little Sony. It was like a one speaker, but it was a cool little boom box. I used that thing forever, and you could record on it. I said, "Hey, can I take this upstairs on Grandma's, you know, stereo system up there and play it and record it?" And he's like, "I don't know, man." I said, "Come on, dude. I won't ruin it. I'm good with records. And so he let me do that. So I put it on the turntable. I had a blank cassette in my boombox, and I just held the boombox up to the speaker area on this little, basically stereo unit she had that had speakers built into the cabinet, and it had like these, before LEDs, guys, it had all these different colored lights behind kind of a diffusion screen. And so it would light up kind of to the music. And I sat there and I recorded that whole album onto a cassette, and I drove around, listened to that forever until I got enough money to, and I was frustrated enough with the sound of the what I had recorded to go buy an actual copy of it. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, so that's a great album too. I mean, yeah, I like Too Fast for Love a lot more. I think it's got a lot better songs on it, but there's some good songs on Shout at the Devil. And the other thing I will say about it is they do a cover of Helter Skelter on there. And I gotta say, that is a damn good cover. I mean, when I think of Guns N' Roses and they did a bunch of covers, I think they needed to go to school and have Motley Crue teach them how to really do a cover, because the cover of Helter Skelter, it does enough props towards the original artist, which is the Beatles, but at the same time they do make it their own, and it's really good, man. I mean, Live and Let Die by Guns N' Roses is okay, but they really needed to corral in Axl Rose's voice, He gets a little carried away and makes a lot of noise that's kind of unnecessary, in my opinion, okay? But yeah, I've been listening to those albums and really enjoying it. Trying to find some more TV on the radio records, because I really love them. And I got my eyes peeled for other stuff. I mean, here in a couple of weeks, it'll be Record Store Day. And there's about 4 or 5 that I want to scope out and see if that I'm interested in. Let me go over those with you guys, because I think originally I told you I wasn't interested in anything. But I am. Let's see. Here we go. So I have a little list. I always take a list with me. So in general, albums that I'm looking for vinyl from TV on the Radio, from Fastway, from De La Soul, from Dokken. I'm looking for the Dirty Weapons album by Killer Dwarfs, but I take any Killer Dwarfs album, really. LL Cool J, anything. Queensryche, almost anything. I've got Empire. Rat, pretty much anything. I have one of their albums. Run DMC, I think I have one of their albums as well, but I wouldn't mind some more. And then any of the Van Hagar albums. So when Sammy Hagar took over, and they had the first album was 5150, I listened to that when I was younger, but I kind of, as I got older, I thought, boy, that's kind of lame. I don't really like that. I prefer David Lee Roth, But then your music tastes change over time. Like, I've been listening to some of those Van Hagar songs, and I'm like, damn, this is good music, So I'd love to get a few of those. So on Record Store Day, which is the 24th this year, so the day after Thanksgiving, it always is on Black Friday. There's only really 3 things that I'm interested in. One is the original soundtrack of Judgment Night. If you don't know what that is, it was an action film from the 90s. And the soundtrack is comprised of rock bands that were important at that time or pertinent at that time, mixed with and doing a duet with a rap group or rap artist. So my very favorite one is called Fallen. Oh no, it's not Fallen. It's sorry. What the hell is the name of it? But it's De La Soul. And it's Teenage Fan Club. And it is amazing. I will see if I can put a little bit of it on here so you guys can hear it. But yeah, it's so good. It's definitely my favorite song on there. There's some other good ones on there. Yeah, Fallen. It is Fallen. So De La Soul with Teenage Fan Club. There's a song on there with Therapy and Fatal. There's a song on there with Cypress Hill and Pearl Jam. There's a song on there with Dinosaur Jr. and Del the Funky Homo Sapien. One with Biohazard and Onyx. That's the song called Judgment Night. Just Another Victim is a song with House of Pain and Helmet. It's a pretty good one. And then Another Body Murdered is, let's see, that's the Booyah Tribe and Faith No More. And then I Love You, Mary Jane. Cypress Hill does another song on here, but it's with Sonic Youth. And then Pearl Jam, yeah, they did the one with Cypress. Yeah, that's a good one. Missing Link is, I said that already. Freak Mama, that is with Sir Mix-a-Lot and Mudhoney. So, and then Living Color and Run DMC did a song together too. And then Disorder, that's with Ice-T and Slayer. Crazy soundtrack, man. It's really good. I probably won't. Just go Spotify. I'll put a Spotify link in the notes for you guys. But yeah, you got to go check that album out. Another album I'm excited about is they're going to be putting out a reprint of U2 Under a Blood Red Sky. I don't listen to much U2 anymore. I definitely liked them when I was high school age, and in the college is when they changed kind of what they were doing. They came out with The Fly. It was the name, and they did Zoo TV, Zooropa. I didn't really care for the way they went, from that point forward. But before that, I definitely really enjoyed them. I remember going to the Unforgettable Fire tour, or was it? No, it was Unforgettable Fire tour, I believe. Or no, it was Joshua Tree. I went to the Joshua Tree tour, and later on, footage from that tour, they took a bunch of it and they made the film Rattle and Hum, and that soundtrack's fantastic too. So around that time, I was really into them. But yeah, I saw them live, and it was something. I saw them live a few times. I saw them for the Zoo TV tour too, and I was kind of like, what's this shit, The coolest thing about that was they did have a satellite connection with Lou Reed, and they sang Satellite of Love. It was pretty awesome. And then there is Czarface has another one. It's called Zartificial Intelligence. So I'm interested in those three really on Record Store Day. We'll see. I don't know. It's going to depend on how much they charge for these and that kind of thing. Yeah, sometimes they ask a lot for some of these. I'm guessing the U2 one will be a little overpriced. Czarface will be pretty reasonable. And Judgment Night will probably be a little overpriced. But it depends on how much they are. I'm not walking out of there without Judgment Night, because that's one of my very favorite soundtracks of all time. But I could leave Under a Blood Red Sky behind me. But it's a pretty good album, so we'll see. I think I can swing all three of those and it'll be fine. So that's it for music. Way too much there. This is going to be a long episode. I appreciate you guys listening. What have I been watching? Nothing really. I haven't had any time to watch anything, to be honest with you. I did watch the football game from Germany on Sunday morning. And boy, they played it really well. And by they, I mean the NFL, because if you went and searched on Google for where you could watch the game, if you live in the Kansas City area, it wouldn't give you any. You'd have to really dig probably. And I was digging a little bit and I still couldn't find it. So I was under the impression that I would have to pay to watch it. So I had some credit anyway through Google Play. So I went ahead and downloaded the NFL app and signed up for a month of their NFL stream or what, I don't remember what it's called. But so I had the game up. And I was down here in the office working because I got a couple pieces of furniture to kind of clean this area up too, a little bit. But then my buddies tell me, "Oh no, dude, it's on NBC here in Kansas City." I was like, "What?" So you couldn't find that anywhere. I still went on and looked to see if what channel in Kansas City is the Chiefs game on Sunday morning. Nope, nothing, dude. So I know the NFL had to be involved in quashing those links and those returns on a query so that they could get people to spend money to watch it. Dude, the NFL, I mean, I love watching some teams, you know. I like football, okay, but there's such a bunch of money-hungry turds. And a lot of people say that about the players. And yeah, they get paid too much. But what people are forgetting, what about all the billionaires that own these teams? What are they getting paid? It's ridiculous, man. So don't ever sit there and think that, oh, yeah, you know, it's so expensive to go and it's all this stuff because of the players. They make pennies in the bucket compared to what the owners make. So, but that's about it for watching. I mean, we'll watch another Curb Your Enthusiasm or two, and we watched some Veep. You know, that's really about it. Yeah, that's it for watching. Reading, nothing too new. I did get some new comics. Let me see here. I kind of go through some of these. I need to read some of these, man. That's a real problem. But yeah, I did. There's some new issues that came out anyway, but there's some new ones that I also added to my reading. I think I told you guys about The Space Between. That one's really good. Breath of Shadows is another one. That's another one I started up. Black Sight is another one I started up that looks really great. And then this one is pretty wild. It's more like a graphic novel. It's very long, but it's called Space Job. And it's about these people that are on a ship that's basically, they're doing a boring job on the ship, kind of like in an office and stuff as they go through space. That's their job. I don't know. It's pretty wild. I was intrigued by that. But nothing else really with reading. Gaming, nothing. I mean, I've downloaded some games, but it's hard. You know, I just don't have time. You know, I'm interested in playing some games. You know, I'd love to play like Starfield, and I'd love to play more No Man's Sky, but I mean, I sold my system. But I just don't have time, man. I mean, I really don't. So I'm kind of putting that on the back burner for now. I might as well just leave it off here, actually. And then podcasts. Yeah, there's some podcast stuff for sure. I'm pretty much the same standard as stuff I've been listening to that you guys know about. But there's a few things that might be different. Downrange, I told you guys about that. The first episode was amazing. It's pretty crazy. Mr. Ballin, Medical Mysteries, I told you guys about that one. Real survival stories. And then, yeah, I mean, nothing, I guess, too new. Some new I Survived episodes, some new Radio Rental and Rattled and Shook episodes. I did start this one called The Vanishing Point, which is about women missing from a certain section of the highway in California, I believe, upstate California. Mostly indigenous women that have just gone missing. And people that have never been heard from again, bodies not found, nothing. Pretty wild, but I don't know. I might have to listen to the second episode to really get into it. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's tragic, and it's something else that exists in our current time, but it does, you know. But yeah, guys, that's it. So, as you could probably tell by my voice, man, I am pooped. I am just worn down and out. I am sleeping, even though the warm weather's back, and I've been massive issues with allergies. But, you know, I do the water stuff in the nose and out the other side, kind of like neti pot stuff. I do these meds that they've got me on and stuff. If I get real bad, I'll do one of the Advil. They have cold and sinus ones that are pretty strong that clear me up. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have to go mow the lawn again. I mean, it's not looking too bad. It's still kind of holding on. Now there's leaves all over top of everything. So, but even still, if you're in my neighborhood and you're walking around and everything. Do me a favor, get off my lawn.